and welcome back to Module 2. This is Lesson 2, and I want to just quickly talk about a metaphor that I'm going to use throughout this course, that writing is like a marathon. So one of the things I think we know about any kind of adventure that we take on, like running a marathon, is that we wouldn't do it without some training. We wouldn't do it without some preparation. If you're running a marathon, for example, you would train for quite a while. Especially if it was your first one. You'd have guidance from other people probably. You'd have the right equipment. You'd have a route map, stuff like that. And writing is really similar in my mind. And one of the things that I think we expect from ourselves very often is that because we use language all the time, and in fact we're writing all the time, we write texts, we write emails, all that kind of stuff, and we're constantly absorbed in and absorbing stories. We tell each other stories, we're watching stories, we're reading stories. I think we really think that we should just be able to sit down and pour out a great novel just right off the top of our heads. But the analogy really applies that just as we wouldn't walk out the door right now in our slippers or our street shoes and run a marathon, we need to do the same thing when it comes to writing a book. We need to build up strength and stamina, and I'm going to talk about the tools that we'll use to do that in a future session. We need to build our writing muscle. And same thing, I'm going to talk about that a little bit in a future session. We need the right equipment. And by equipment, I mean the tools that we use for writing. But in this case, for writing, what I'm talking about when I say equipment is really what's going on between our ears. And that's where I'm going to focus a lot of what goes on in this course, is what's going on between our ears and how we can adjust that and observe it and make it work for us instead of against us. And then we need, in a marathon, something like a route map. And so that's really what this course is providing for you, is a way to look forward and see where you can go from here. So really you can think of this Boost Your Word Count course as a bit of a personal trainer for your writing practice. And I hope that you'll allow me to just be there by your side, providing you with inspiration and information so that you can strengthen those writing muscles and gradually build up to where you feel very comfortable with your writing and then can find joy and fulfillment in it as well. And just as with any physical endeavor, the more we practice what we learn, the stronger our muscles are going to get. So I encourage you as well, just like you would do if you're running a marathon, to keep practicing, even in short bursts. We're going to talk about this again more in a future lesson, but I really encourage you to put what you're learning into practice and have this course be really practical for you, and not just sort of an intellectual exercise. So we're going to jump into Module 3 very quickly. But first, I just want to touch on a very short lesson about you and the challenges that you may be having with your writing. And I really want to emphasize that you are not the problem, and I want to point out why that is. So I'll meet you in there for a quick lesson, Lesson 3, and then we'll move forward into Module 3. So I'll see you soon. Bye.